I was reading about this the other day, and I honestly can't stop thinking about it. It passed away. And at the funeral, someone asked if they could turn their skull into a coffee mug. You'd call the cops, right? But for most of history, that was just a Tuesday. We think death is this one-size-fits-all thing now. Funeral home, burial or cremation, clean, professional, someone else handles the messy parts. But for like 99% of human existence, there were no professionals, no system, just you, a dead body, and a decision you had to make before things got, well, bad. And what people actually did? You'd get arrested today, maybe worse. They kept bodies in their homes for years. They ate them, lived on top of them, made drinking cups out of skulls. The craziest part? The why. And trust me, the reason's way weirder than you think. The first funeral. All right, 60,000 years ago, Iraq. There's this cave called Shanidar Cave. A Neanderthal guy dies. He's maybe 40, which back then was like ancient. His group could have just done what animals do, drag the body outside, let scavengers deal with it, move on. Nope, didn't happen. Someone dug a pit, not even that deep, like a foot, maybe a little more. They laid him down in it gently, the way you'd tuck a kid into bed. Then someone walked outside and picked flowers. Now, you might be wondering, how do we even know they had flowers? It's been 60,000 years. Well, that's the crazy part. In 1960, archaeologists found his skeleton, and all around it was this concentrated pollen from 8 different flower species, stuff like yarrow and hollyhock, flowers that don't even grow in caves. Someone had to walk outside, risk getting mauled by something just to pick a bouquet for a dead guy. That's insane to me. That's the earliest funeral we've got solid proof of. But here's the thing, it wasn't just about love. It was about fear. Dead people don't stay dead. Think about it. You're living 10,000 years ago. Someone dies. You've seen death before. Body goes stiff, color changes, starts to rot. But you don't know why that happens. You don't know what bacteria are. Decomposition isn't in your vocabulary. All you know is yesterday this person was talking, walking, laughing. Today, they're just gone. So where'd they go? Ancient people didn't think the dead just disappeared. They thought they got stuck, trapped somewhere between worlds, confused, maybe pissed off. And if you didn't handle the body the right way, they'd come back. We know they believed this because of how they buried people. 2015. Archaeologists are looking at thousands of graves across Europe, Neolithic era, so we're talking like 8,000 years old. Bodies buried in what's called a flexed position, knees pulled up to the chest, arms pinned down tight. Everyone figured for years it was just to save space. Smaller grave, less digging. Then they actually looked closer at the bones. Stress fractures. The knees had been yanked so hard toward the chest that the bones cracked. Arms tied so tight, the rope marks survived in the dirt for thousands of years. That's not about saving space. That's, we need to make absolutely sure this person doesn't stand back up. Some cultures went even harder, buried people face down, put heavy rocks on their backs, and in a bunch of graves across prehistoric Europe, they straight up cut the heads off. Not as punishment, as prevention. Can't walk without a head, right? Can't see. Can't find your way back. Ancient people weren't really burying the dead, they were trapping them, living on top of corpses. But not everyone was terrified of dead bodies. Some cultures wanted to keep them close, like really close. There's this place in Turkey, Çatalhöyük, about 9,000 years old, one of the first actual cities humans ever built. And when someone died there, they didn't take the body outside. They dug up the floor. Yeah, right there in the main room, where everyone ate, slept, kids played. They'd bury the body, plaster over it, smooth it out, and just keep living there. Archaeologists found houses with 30 bodies underneath the floor. Some had 60. I mean, seriously, can you imagine? You're just trying to find your shoes in the morning and you're stepping over your great-grandfather's grave? The smell alone, I don't know how they did it. I can barely handle a squeaky floorboard at night. These people were living on top of an entire cemetery. But they wanted it that way, because death wasn't about someone leaving. Ancestors weren't gone. They were just downstairs, I guess? Some places kept them even closer. About 9,000 years ago in Jericho, different spot but same time frame, people would remove the heads from dead bodies, cover the skulls in plaster, and mold them to look like the person's actual face. Shells for eyes, paint on the lips. They were basically making portraits out of actual bone. It's hard to even wrap your head around that. but they'd keep them on display for years. Your grandfather's literal face staring at you from across the room every single day. That's not symbolic. That was just life. They ate them. Okay, this next part is a lot. There's no easy way to say this, but they actually ate them. There's this spot in England called Gough's Cave. Dates back about 15,000 years. Archaeologists found human bones there mixed in with animal bones, but it wasn't what you'd think. The human bones had marks on them, cut marks, scraping, long bones cracked open, exactly the way you'd crack a deer leg to get at the marrow. The skulls turned into drinking cups, tops sawed off, edges smoothed down. Not like trophies, actual cups people apparently drank from. These bodies were eaten. Here's where it gets really weird. It wasn't because they were starving. Same cave, full of deer bones, horse bones, rabbits. There was food, plenty of it. So why eat dead people? Best guess anyone's got? It was ritual. Eating your ancestors wasn't about destroying them. It was about absorbing them, their strength, their wisdom, whatever made them, them. There's supposedly a tribe in the Amazon, Yanomami, still does a version of this today. Someone dies, they cremate the body, mix the ashes into plantain soup, and the whole family drinks it. All of it. Because I guess letting someone you love rot alone in the ground in the dark feels cruel to them. But carrying them inside you forever, that's love. At least, that's how they see it. I mean, it's definitely not for me, but I get the logic. Giving bodies to the sky. Not everyone buried or burned. Some gave the body back to nature, in like the most intense way possible. Tibet still does this. Sky burials. Jator, I think it's called. Body gets carried to the top of a mountain. There's a specialist who cuts it into pieces with knives. Then they call the vultures, and the vultures come. To us, that sounds absolutely horrifying. But in Buddhism, your body's just a container. You're done with it. So your last act is generosity. You spent your whole life taking from the world. Now, you give back. Papua New Guinea took it even further. The Anga people didn't bury, didn't burn. They smoked bodies, put them on racks over a fire for weeks, months even, until the whole body dried out completely. Then they'd hang the body on a cliff overlooking the village. The dead didn't go anywhere. They just watched, hollow eyes, dried skin, hanging there in the open air forever. That's a level of commitment I can't even wrap my head around. What it all means. So here's the thing. There's no right way to handle death. Burying, burning, eating, keeping, smoking. Every single method was invented to answer the same question. How do you let go of someone when everything inside you wants them to stay? Your ancestors didn't have professionals to call. They had to touch the body themselves, wash it, carry it, sit with it. They couldn't avoid death, so they made it mean something. Today, we've made death so professional that we don't even touch it anymore. We show up, cry, and leave. Someone else handles everything. Maybe that's progress. I honestly don't know. But 60,000 years ago, in a cave in Iraq, someone picked flowers for a dead man. Nobody was watching. There was no tradition forcing them to do it. They just did it anyway. And 60,000 years later, we found the pollen. Everything about that person's world is gone. Their name, their family, their language, all of it. But we still have that pollen. It's weirdly comforting to think that the one thing that survived 60,000 years was just someone showing love. Makes you look at our modern, sterile funerals a little differently, doesn't it? What do you think? Is our way better or just easier?